All In Sports Network. We love sports.
Coming to you from the land of brisket and barbecue, Lone Stars and Longhorns, this is All In Colts, presented by the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back, All In. This episode, we give you the updates on the South. We'll go over each of the other 3 teams' schedules in the AFC South and give our prediction of what their record is. So let's go, All In Colts.
Yes, I'm Liam. This is, you're Liam. Yes, you're Liam, and I'm Kevin.
Yes,
you're my son. We're doing this remotely. As far as we know, we are the only father-son podcast to cover an NFL team from enemy territory.
Yeah,
it's a lot of clarifiers. So
a lot of specifics, but I mean,
yeah.
I think we got that covered. I think so.
Yeah. We may be the only father-son NFL podcast that's out there.
Yeah,
or the only one that we know of.
Yeah, I know the Kelsey brothers have a podcast, but
but they're brothers.
Yeah, they're brothers, so it's different. It's just different.
We're a generational thing here. It's kind
exactly cool. Yeah, and 2 generations on a podcast.
One episode we even had my dad. That's 3 generations in one.
3 generations.
Podcast.
I know, right? Pretty cool.
Well, week to week, we will be updating you on the other teams in the AFC South. We'll keep track of the current standings and any news from each team. But since it's the beginning of the season, before the season starts, this episode, we're going to go over each of their schedules to see what we think their records will be.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, we don't like these teams. And
I know.
We have a theory that we are the only for real team in this division.
Yeah. Yes.
Because the Titans are actually the Oilers. And
just kind of exported out.
The Jaguars came from the Teal 95 expansion. And then you can't actually have 2 teams from Houston. And so we don't even call the other team anything but the team from Houston.
Yes, exactly.
So speaking of that, let's go first to the team from Houston update. We're going to go through game by game their schedule, and we're going to bounce back and forth and say whether we think they're going to win it or lose it that week, and tally it up at the end. All right?
Yeah.
You want to take week 1 for Houston or
I'll take it first. First game at Indianapolis. They're playing us in the game that ended our season last season.
Yep. So. Turned what Pat McAfee calls the Loud House into the Stroud House. I think that the Colts are going to take it back as the Loud House and win game number 1. What do you think?
I think they're going to take it back as well. I think they got some salt in their mouth still from that game. So I think the Colts are going to get the win there.
All righty. Next up, they got the Bears on Sunday Night Football. So this is 2 early draft pick quarterbacks, number 2 from last year, number 1 from this year.
Yep. I think that both teams are talented. They both have a good quarterback. They both have a talented wide receiver core as well. I think that the team from Houston is just more developed than the other team, so I'm gonna have to go with a win for Houston there.
All right. So I am going to say that the same thing I've said all along. Caleb Williams could be a great quarterback, but he went to the Bears, which have a historic, maybe legendary case for terrible quarterbacks. And so I think that Houston will win this one. Just for clarification, week 1 is a loss for both of us for Houston. A win for the Colts, loss.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure so I mark it down correct.
Yes, because it's
Set us
it's
up with
weird.
week 3.
All right, week 3. It is in Minnesota taking on the Vikings without JJ McCarthy. So Sam Darnold, I believe, is the starting quarterback.
Yep. They don't have one JJ, but they have another, and it's at home early in the season. I think that this is a win for the Vikings, a loss for Houston.
I think I would disagree there. I think it's going to be a win for Houston. I think that yes, they have JJ, but they have Sam Darnold to throw them in the ball, and Daniel Hunter just came for the Vikings too.
I was going to point that out. Glad you did.
So I think he's going to get back there, eat up Sam, and then I don't know if there's much that the defense can do against the high-powered Houston offense.
Makes sense. All right. The next game is the second divisional game for Houston. Jaguars at home in Houston.
I think that Houston is just a better team. Plus, it's in Houston, so I'm going to have to go with Houston winning here.
I would agree with you. I think that the Jaguars still don't know exactly what they're doing, and so I don't know that they're going to figure it out by week 4 just yet. So that's that.
Next game is Josh Allen and the Bills are coming in to Houston. So Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen's they're gonna see each other again. Who you got here?
This is 2 weeks in a row of Josh Allen's.
It is.
Now the Jaguars is Josh Allen. Hines, is his name. It's a lot to fit on there, but I'm going to say that this is the first week where Houston definitely stumbles at home, and it will be a loss to the Bills at home for them. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I would agree there. I think the Bills, yes, they lost a lot of people, but I think they are still a talented team. I think because they lost a lot of people don't think they're going to do that great. But I think because of that, they are an underrated team now. So I think that the Bills are going to come out and kind of shock a lot of people. And I think this is one of the games they're gonna do that.
Alrighty. Next up, we got at the Patriots going up to Foxborough. Always a tough place to play.
It is, but it's still the Patriots, and they are not that great. So I think Houston is going to get the win here.
It's a tough place to play. If it was late in the season, I might change it to a loss, but I think Houston's going to get it done simply because you're right. The Patriots just have no identity whatsoever.
Next week, they go to play in Green Bay against the Packers, against the youngest team in the NFL.
Yes, that is true. This is going to be a really good matchup, and I would venture to say that this is maybe a sneaky Super Bowl pick for some people. By two kind of younger quarterbacks, up and coming. It's a tough one for me. I've given some losses that are maybe not losses before, so I'm going to say it's a win just to balance myself out.
That's fair.
What do you think?
I think that it's in Green Bay, which makes it's hard to play in Lambeau. No matter what team you are, no matter when it is, it's just the fans are just crazy there. And I think the big thing in this game will be, can Stephon Diggs or Nico Collins or whoever the one is get away from Jair Alexander? If they can't, I think the Packers will win. I think Alexander will end up blocking whoever it is, so I'm going to give Packers the win here.
Okay. Next, the Sunday before Halloween, the Colts.
Yes.
Go to Houston. What do you think?
This is it's a hard game because I want the Colts to win.
Yes.
It is in Houston, and I mean, kind of got everything. Houston seems to have everything kind of falling in place. By this point in the season, if they don't already have it, then they will have it all in the place at this point. But the Colts still went into Houston last year and dominated Houston. The only
Early
reason
in
it
the
was
season.
it was early. The only reason it was that close was because we were playing prevent defense. That's literally what it was. So I'm gonna give it to the Colts. The Colts sweep Houston.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I am looking slightly ahead, knowing that Houston has to play in New York on the short week against the Jets and potentially Aaron Rodgers.
Mhm.
So
Yes,
I'm going to
potential.
say that the Colts are going to sweep them as well. That might be wishful thinking, but I'm just looking at how those things stacked up and go, yeah, sure, that could definitely happen.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Next game is, like you kind of already said, in New York against the Jets. Thursday night football. I believe this is Halloween, right?
It is
Yep.
Halloween in New York. A lot of spooky things can happen, and the Jets are scary good. And so
Yeah.
I think it's another loss for Houston. Once again, maybe wishful thinking, but what do you think?
See, I already have 2 losses in a row here. So
You do.
strictly because of that, I don't think Houston is going to win. Lose 3 in a row. So I'm
Okay.
going to give them a win. I think it'll be very, very close. But I do think Houston is going to get the win here.
All right. Next up, Lions on Sunday Night Football. Now on the kind of mini bye week.
Yes. I think that both of these teams, I think this is another Super Bowl matchup. That's that both teams could be in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
But I believe the Lions are a better team, and I would venture to say the coaching staff is better for the Lions as well. Yes, Dan Campbell is risky, but he's very good at what he does. So I'm gonna say the Lions take this. So they get 1 win, Houston gets 1 win, and then they lose again.
All right. I don't know if they're gonna. This would put me at 3 losses in a row here again. So I'm gonna simply go Houston because of the home field advantage.
Yeah,
That's
that
where
makes
I'm at.
sense. That makes sense. Next game is in Dallas, so you don't have to travel that far. Monday Night Football against the Cowboys.
Yeah, this is a historic game because Houston got its first win against the Cowboys. Its very first season. So like, there's a lot of. It's not very long because it's only 20 some years that Houston has been a team, but there's a lot riding on this game in Texas itself, and we're right here in the middle. But the Cowboys are really good in the regular season, so I think loss for Houston. Plus, it's in Dallas.
Yeah, I think that I think Houston's going to need this win. So I think they're going to come out and I don't know. I feel like Dallas just might not. Things just might not click for them this game. So I think Houston's going to get the win here.
Alrighty. Next up, we got the Titans coming to town in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
This is now the 4th divisional game. Yeah.
Yes. I think that Houston is going to get the win. It's at home. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't win this game.
Titans may be sneaky good, but they also may be one of those like, oh, they may be sneaky good, darling in the preseason and everything, but turn out not so good and not able to put all the pieces together with old people all around the roster. And so I'm going to say Houston wins this one.
Yeah. Next game is in Jacksonville, the last time that they played the Jaguars this season. Who do you have for this one?
Back-to-back divisional games are tough, and it's all on the road. So I'm going to say the Houston loses this one?
I'm going to say this is another game that they need to win. I think Houston's going to get the win.
Okay. All right. I like it.
Yeah.
And then they come back to Houston to play another team from Florida. The Dolphins are coming to town. What do you think they can do with that speed?
I think the speed is going to be a little bit too overwhelming to Houston. I think that they're going to end up losing this game.
All right. I am going to say it's in Houston, and somewhere along the line, the Dolphins are going to have an injury that hurts them at this point in the season. So I'm going to say Houston wins this one.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Yeah. Next game is in Kansas City playing the Chiefs.
On a Saturday to set up the next week, which we'll talk about in a second. It's in Kansas City. You're playing the Chiefs late in the season. Houston is going to lose. No doubt.
See, I would say that, and as much as I want Houston to lose that, I don't think the Chiefs are going to be as good as everybody says. I kind of said that last year. They're not getting a three-peat. I will stick by that.
All right.
But I believe that Houston is going to come out with the win. I think the win might be by more than just 2 touchdowns as well.
So, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Which then brings up the following week, again in a short week, because they're playing the Ravens on Christmas Wednesday.
Yes.
There's NFL football on a Wednesday.
Yep. I love it.
It's in Baltimore.
The Ravens played last year on Christmas against the Chiefs, and I believe the Ravens ended up losing that. Or I don't know, something happened and they lost on Christmas. The Ravens are not going to lose again on Christmas, strictly because it's their Christmas present to themselves. And I think they just got better over the offseason. So yeah,
I think at this point now with Derek in the backfield, this is a team built to win late in the season. And so I think that the Ravens will do that. It's a loss for Houston. Last game of the season then is at the Titans.
Yep, at the Titans. I think that they're coming off a loss. I don't know if they'll need this. I think they might have secured a spot in the playoffs at this point. I don't know.
Okay.
But I think they'll end up winning this anyways, regardless of what it is, because it's still the Titans. So they're going to sweep the Titans, and then what did I say? Split with the Jaguars, or I think I said sweep the Jaguars. That. Yeah, sweep the Jaguars, sweep the Titans, and then they're gonna get swept by the Colts. So that seems a little biased, but
maybe
that is.
I'll give them a win against the Titans as well, just to balance things out. That puts me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 losses. So
wow, so they're 8 and 9.
8 and 9 for me. You got
they are 10 and 7 for me.
All right, so 10 and 7, basically the same that they did last year.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
we spent a lot of time. We spent a lot of time on Houston, but they may be the front runners. So next up, we'll go to the 95 Kitties update. So. I'll take first this time. First up is the battle for Florida. They play at the Dolphins in Miami. Start season.
I think these games are kind of going to be easily decided. Just quick little things. Too much speed, so they're going to lose this.
All right. I also think that they're going to lose it with that one.
Yeah. I think they are. The next game is in Jacksonville against the Browns.
Yes, I think the Browns have too much defense, so even though we don't know exactly what their offense is going to look like just yet, I think that their defense can take care of everything they need to against the Jaguars.
Yep. I think it's going to be definitely a defensive battle. And if that is the case, then I think that the Jaguars are going to lose that battle. So they're going to lose the game then.
All right. At the Bills on Monday Night Football is next.
I think they coming off 2 losses is not going to be good for them. So I think they are going to lose this. Win this game.
Okay. I also think that this will be a win because they need it. And I think even if they win one of the other twos, I think they can do this one early in the season. A lot easier to win in September in Buffalo than it is late in the season.
Yeah. And we already said this game at Houston. I think we both had the Jags losing this game.
Yes. It's once again, it is a home field advantage in the division.
Field advantage. Yep. So I guess I'll do the next game as well.
Sure. Yeah.
It's in Jacksonville against the Colts.
Colts are historically bad in Jacksonville, so I'm going to ride that even though I don't want to. So I'm going to say that the Jaguars win it.
I
may not the same thing when we go through the Colts schedule, but that's where I'm at right now.
I think I would say the same thing. Even with AR, they performed well last year, but they didn't get it done. So I think Jacksonville's going to win that game.
And then they go to London for the next couple of games. They play at the Bears. So they play the Bears in London.
Yeah. I think Jacksonville is good in London, and they're going to get this win.
Yeah. It's against the Bears, I think, have this amazing thing that you're just not going to figure out to put it together. And Jacksonville is really good in London because they're used to that.
Yep. Next game is also in London, as you said, but it is against the Patriots.
Yeah, it's in London. Jaguars, Patriots lost internationally to the Colts last year, and the Patriots may be worse this year than they were last year. Maybe.
Yeah,
they're not good. So Jacksonville is going to win that one.
I think I'd agree with you there. So 3 straight wins for Jacksonville for both of us.
Well, they started off rough. We have exactly the same thing right now. Okay, and then they play the Packers at home after coming back from London.
I think even if Jacksonville is good in London, I think the time switch is hard. And I think
I don't know. I didn't put the bye week on here. I'm not sure if they have a bye week between there, but
gotcha. It makes sense if they did. But I think that the Packers are still gonna win regardless. So,
all right. I think you're right. I think that the Packers are better, so that's gonna happen.
Next game is in Philadelphia. It is a Sunday night football game against the Eagles.
Eagles are good, and it's in Philly, which is a hard place to play. So Jaguars are going to lose that one.
Yeah, I think I would agree there. Saquon is just a lot to handle with that offensive line. Plus, they still have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
It's crazy. And then they play the Vikings at home after that.
Once again, it's Sam Darnold. I get it. So I think the Jaguars are going to take this one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Jaguars can't lose all of them, so I think they'll win this one. I'm just where I'm playing it right now.
Yep. Next game is in Detroit against the Lions.
This one, it's in Detroit against the Lions. They're good. Jaguars, I don't think, are as good, so Jaguars lose it.
I think I would agree with you there.
All right. Next one is Houston at home in Jacksonville.
Yep. I think we.
What did we say on that one?
I think we had lost because Houston swept everybody and then got swept by the Colts. So
saying the same thing.
Loss. Yeah, loss.
So it's a
loss
win.
for the Jaguars.
So loss for the Jaguars.
Win for Houston.
All right, sounds good. I'll go with it. At the Titans, 7th divisional game in a row.
I think they're going to lose against the Titans. Go 3 straight. They went 3 straight wins, and then they're going to go 3 straight losses.
Okay. I'm going to differ from you and say that they get the win
In Tennessee. Okay.
And
next game is against the Jets. It is in Jacksonville, though.
it's in Jacksonville. No way. It's against the Jets.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you. 4 straight losses.
Wow.
Yeah.
You might be Jaguars less than Houston. All right. And then at the Raiders out to Vegas.
I think this is definitely going to be a hard game. As much as I want to say the Raiders win, just because they have Gardner Minshew, I think that Jacksonville isn't going to go 5 straight losses. So, can they get the win here?
Yeah. Something always seems to happen with the Raiders in the middle of the season, but then the end of the season is really good. So I'm going to say that Jaguars lose this one.
Okay. Next game is in Jacksonville against the Titans. So two close weeks. Within like 3 weeks, they played the Titans twice.
Yep. I'm going to say they won in Nashville, and they're going to win at home.
I'm going to say they split. They lose away, and they win home, so they're going to win this game.
All right. Makes sense. And in Indianapolis, it's the same way the season started last year.
Yeah. I think that the Colts are going to get this win, so the Jacksonville Jaguars will lose this.
All right, I am with you on that one as well. So that puts me at let's see, easier to count wins or losses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins. So that's 7-10 for me.
And I am 7-10 as well.
All right. Slightly different. A lot the same, though.
Different ways to get there. Pretty similar.
Right. Last team, the displaced Oilers update.
Or the Titans. Yep.
This is the Titans, but
yes. Yeah. First game is at Chicago. Playing the Bears.
Yes, it's in Chicago to start the season. Even the Niners a couple of years ago couldn't beat the Bears at home to open the season, so certainly the Titans are not going to.
Yep, I would agree with you there. I think the Bears are a better team than the Titans are. So,
and then they play the Jets at home.
I think it's going to be another loss because the Jets are just good. As long as Aaron Rodgers is fine by then.
Yep, I would agree. I would even say that even that their backup quarterbacks are better this year than they were last year. So it's a loss to the Jets.
Yep. And then they stay in Tennessee, but they have to play the Packers.
Yep. So you got Aaron Rodgers versus, and then you go on to where Aaron Rodgers used to be. It's a loss again.
Yep. I think I would agree. The Packers are a very good team.
Yep. Next, they go to Miami on Monday Night Football, where they won last year.
They did, but they're not going to win.
They're
not going to win again. They're not going to get it done again. I think there's just too much speed for them to handle.
So you have them losing 5 straight games.
4.
Before.
Oh, yes, I do.
Host the Colts. I also have them with 5 straight games that they're not going to beat Miami.
Mm-hmm.
At that point in the season.
Yep.
All right.
The next game is they are hosting the Colts in week 5.
Yes. Are they going to lose 6 straight? when
This
they played
this
the
would be
Colts.
this would be 5 straight
This is.
if they lost this because we have 4.
Oh, you're correct. You're correct. Are they going to lose 5 straight? Especially when this is their first divisional game and it's at home?
Mhm.
I wish they would, but I'm going to say for their sake that they don't. That this is their first win. That it's fine.
Yeah,
It'll
call
be
me
fine.
biased. Call me biased if you want. They're gonna lose this game too.
All right. I like it. I like it.
0-5
I love
to
your
start.
bias. I love your bias. Okay. Then they have to go to Buffalo to play the Bills. What do you think about that one?
I think this is finally where they turn it around. I think this is where they get a win. Yes, it's in Buffalo playing the Bills, but I think that they're gonna eke this one out.
Yeah, it's like early October.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they broke this. They're going to win this one as well. They have
yep.
to go to Detroit to play the Lions.
They do. I think that is going to be a very, very tough and not fun game for them. So I think they're going to lose that one.
Yep. I would agree. It's in Detroit.
Yep.
Lions are going to win.
Yep. And then they are back in Tennessee, and they are playing the Patriots.
The Patriots are bad.
The Patriots
are not quite
good.
that bad.
The Patriots are not good. The Titans are okay. I think it's a win.
Yep. All right. And then they go to San Diego. Sorry.
Not
Year ago. They go to LA to play the Chargers.
Yes.
And their new coach, Jim Harbaugh. Much respect.
Yes. I think this is strictly going to be a game of home field advantage. So I think the Chargers are going to win this game.
All right. The Chargers are going to be really good this year, I feel like. Jim Harbaugh wins wherever he goes, so that's going to be a loss for the Titans.
Yep. Next game is in Tennessee playing the Vikings.
Yep. Sure. Let's say they'll win this one.
Yeah.
It's home field advantage.
I think it's home field advantage, so I think they're going to get this one done.
And then they go to Houston. What do you got on that one?
I think earlier we both said they lost this one, so I'm going to stick to that.
Yeah, I will too. I'll take the next one then. Actually, go ahead.
Okay. And then they have home field advantage against the Washington Commanders.
Yes. This one's really tough for me. I feel like you have very similar situations with a young quarterback and a lot of experience around him. But I think the Commanders have a little bit of edge, but it's really a toss-up for me. So we'll just say home field advantage and Titans get the win. It's
a toss-up for me as well, and Titans are in the division, so my bias is going to take over, and the Commanders win this one. So it's a loss for the Titans.
All right. Then they host the Jaguars next week.
Yes. I'm trying to here. Let me look back at what I said because I want to stick to my gut. Whatever I said earlier.
Okay. All right.
So I said that the Titans are going to win this one.
Okay. So you get this with the Titans. I believe I had this as a win for the Titans.
I think you.
Maybe not.
No, you didn't. You had a loss there. Yeah.
No. Yeah. I'll stick by that.
Yeah. And then they stay home, stay in Tennessee, but they got to play the Bengals.
Third game in a row at home, but it's against the Bengals, and this is like they're the Titans' new coach from the Bengals. They have Tyler Boyd now, right? I'm correct on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. So there's a little bad blood there. I think the Titans can get behind that one. They like that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say it's a win for the Titans there.
I think they do definitely like that stuff, but I believe Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are too much to handle for them. So it's a loss for the Titans.
We get signed. Next up, they go to the Colts here. They actually end their season with 3 straight divisional games, 2 of them on the road.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we always talk about how the Colts are just kind of a throwaway schedule. They just get the fill-in games. Maybe that's the Titans this year.
I don't know. The Colts got a front-loaded division schedule again, whereas now it's a backloaded divisional schedule. I don't know what's worse, because you can't come back and win it if your games are done, but if you're hurting, and that's a challenge too. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think? At the Colts?
I think the Colts are going to get it done. So that would be a loss. Yeah, loss for the Titans.
I also think this is going to be Colts, and so loss for the Titans.
Mm-hmm. And then this next game is going to be a loss because that was what I said earlier.
Okay, so at the Jaguars, a loss. I'm also going to say it's a loss. Not sure what I said earlier. That's where I'm at now. And so the last game is Houston at home.
Yep, I believe they're going to lose this one as well.
All right. I'm going to say a little bit ago, but I'm going to say that Jaguars see this one out short.
Okay.
All right. So
I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 and what is that? 13? 4 and 13 for me.
4 and 13, 7 and 10. So
okay, not too bad. So South doesn't do too bad this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 7 and 10s, a 10 and 7, and then whatever the Colts get. So it's not that bad.
Yeah. No. But that's it for today. We'll be back with our all-in pick 6, where we will predict 6 high-profile games from around the NFL each week.
Yep.
First one is next week.
Yep. This is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to stay all in Colts.